Hello, wine lovers! I am Yaroslava, sommelier and wine educator, your guide on this journey through the world of wines, spirits and cocktails. Today we are talking about Italian wine Valpolicella, the techniques that allow making for different types of wine from the same grape, and how the urge to extract every bit from grape skins can yield surprisingly tasty results when done skillfully. So, our hero today is Valpolicella and its sisters, Valpolicella Ricciotta, Valpolicella Amarone, and Valpolicella Ripassa. In the northeast of Italy, in the vinicultural zone of Veneta, lies the Valpolicella wine region, which produces wine under the same name. This region is one of the well-known Italian red wine producers alongside with Chianti, Barolo and Brunello, if not in the terms of quality, then certainly in the terms of quantity. The base for Valpolicella wine consists of 4 autochthonic grape varieties that exist almost exclusively in this region: Carvina, Carbinone, Rondinella and Molinara. Carvina is the best and most representative of this. It produces light, low tannic wine with good acidity and aroma of sour cherries. According to the modern wine law, Carvina must comprise 45 to 95% of a Valpolicella blend. Carbinone has similar characteristics, and its proportion in the blend can be up to 50%. Rondinella contributes herbal aromas and some tannins to the blend. Molinara, an aromatic and high-acid variety, is almost out of use nowadays. As a result, we have a light to medium-bodied wine with good acidity, light tannins, and relatively pale color. It features aromas of cherry and herbs with a light bitter almond notes. This characterizes well-made Valpolicella, which can often be found among Valpolicella classical wines. However, mass-market Valpolicella tends to be a light, pale, acidic wine with a dull taste. When your neighbors are such giants of both saturated wines like Barolo or Brunello, it's a shame to produce such a wine. While quantity can sometimes substitute quality, it is not the right path for a good winemaker. Valpolicella winemakers found a way to elevate their wine. Carvina, along with other varieties in the Valpolicella blend, has thick skin, making them suitable for light drying after harvest. The Italian term for such yet to be raising and the winemaking technology based on them is passita. This old method, traced back to the ancient Greeks, is used in many regions to produce naturally sweet wines. After harvest, the grapes are lightly dried, eliminating about 1/3 of their water content. This increases the concentration of sugars and aromatic compounds. Traditionally, grapes were dried in straw mats, which why such wines are often named straw wines. Valpolicella traditionally produces Ricciotta della Valpolicella, a sweet, deep and aromatic wine. Grapes for this wine are dried in whole bunches within special warm, dry rooms for 3 weeks to 3 months. Despite its high price, Ricciotta della Valpolicella has always been a popular wine. How does sweet wine become sweet? The fermentation process must be stopped before completion, meaning before the yeast convert all the sugar into the alcohol. This requires continual monitoring of the sugar level during fermentation, so to halt the process at the right moment. Note that yeast will continue consuming sugar and producing alcohol until either all the sugar gone or they die from alcoholic intoxication. I will discuss various methods of sweet wine production and their impact on wine taste in future episodes. Occasionally, oblivious Italian winemakers would forget about their ricciotta and miss the right moment to stop fermentation. This resulted in a dry wine considered a spoilage at the time. However, in the early 1950s, influenced by new approaches in viniculture, they reevaluated these spoiled products and discovered that they were actually quite good and could be marketed. Special yeast strains that could withstand higher alcohol content were introduced. This marked the birth of the Amarone della Valpolicella, a dry red wine made from dried Passita grapes. This rich aromatic wine quickly gained global popularity. Its name comes from the Italian word amara, meaning bitter, as it was initially contrasted with the sweet ricotta. Higher concentration of sugar in the dried grape gives Amarone a higher alcohol content. The allowed minimum is 40% alcohol by volume, but usually the wine has 15–60%. Amarone is a unique wine. Typically, dry, full-bodied wines with higher alcohol content are made in regions with a warm climate, where grapes can accumulate higher levels of sugar during the growing season. Typical examples are Australia and California. The downsides of such climate is a low concentration of acid in the grapes, which often leads to featureless, unbalanced jammy wine. Valpolicella, however, is a region with a cool climate, so the berries maintain good acidity. The higher sugar content is achieved by removing part of the water during the drying process. Like ricotta, Amarone is aged in a large neutral oak barrels for at least 2 years, often longer. The wine is ideal for long aging in the bottle. Good vintages require about 10 years to fully develop their taste and have a potential to aging for up to 20 years. Today I have Sastoica Amarone della Valpolicella 2020. Please note, this wine requires decanting. Let it breathe for at least half an hour. This one is full-bodied, 14%, nice balanced acidity, very tiny tannins, quite concentrated, but soft and silky. Distinctive cherry aroma with notes of black currant, black olives, and white pepper. Tones of smoke, resin, and hint of dark chocolate. These are added by the drying process. Also, the process can yield tones of coffee, dried fig, and earth notes. A long, soft, and silky aftertaste. Try it. This wine is very young. It should be aged in bottle for 3 or better 5 years to reach its peak. Any red wine after fermentation is separated from the must, which is skin, seeds, and remaining pulp. This must is often used for grappa production or is fertilized or simply discarded. The must is byproduct of ricotta and Amarone also. The winemakers of Valpolicella felt pity about this must. It is a shame to waste such good stuff, full of phenols, tannins, and other beautiful compounds concentrated in Passita grapes. Not all compounds can be transferred from the must to wine, especially when they are so concentrated. The Scrooge-like souls of Italian winemakers were hurt, and they decided to use this must for winemaking. So Valpolicella Ripassa came on the winemaking scene. This is the wine of double fermentation, Ripassa. When ricotta or Amarone is fermented, they separate it from the must and move it to the barrels for aging. Its must is combined with a newly made Valpolicella, and this is how the second fermentation begins. The wine extracts everything from the must that is left after Amarone or ricotta fermentation. The result is a light version of Amarone, named Valpolicella Ripassa. This silky wine is lighter than Amarone, but much more saturated than simple Valpolicella, with a bright cherry taste and light almond bitterness. Ripassa is less expensive than Amarone, and not even a drop of valuable content of costly Passita grapes is lost. Today I have Cecilia Beretta Valpolicella Ripassa Superiore 2021. 8 months in oak, 6 months in the bottle before release. This wine is also need to breathe, so I have poured our glasses ahead. Full bodied, 13.5% alcohol by volume, deep, soft, but much less saturated than Amarone, and has much strong acidity. Aroma of dark cherry, blueberry, red currant. Notes of licorice, white pepper and vanilla. This is for you. Stay with me, subscribe to my channel. Feel free to ask questions and don't hesitate to support me. Salute!